Okay. So I already have created some project. That is why it is displaying left side like this. Okay. So whenever you are going to create any project in Visual Studio, so if you open, it will open the by default window like this. So I want to create one console project. Okay. Now just click on this create a new project. Once you click on new project, it will open the templates like this. Now we have to develop applications in a .NET framework. So the frameworks they have given in a Visual Studio, it is a tool. In this tool, they have given the .NET framework. Now in this drop down, just select the console. Okay, once you select on this console, it will filter this console. Okay, framework. Now if you see here, console app .NET framework. Okay, now I'm selecting this framework. So then click on next. So once you click on next, it will asking the our project name. I'm giving the project no? Console app 9 AM class. This is my project I am giving. So you can give any project here. Okay. And then location where you want to store. So you can give the location here. And then click on create. It will create the console project. Okay. So don't worry about first 1 week or 10 days. So to understanding the code, it's a little bit confused because you don't have a coding background, right? So first time you will feel it is a very difficult, but it is very simple and very easy to learn. After 10 days, so whatever we are doing the first 10 days classes, same code we will repeat. So that time automatically we can habituate and we can easily write the code. But first 10 days, you will feel you are not understanding. It is very difficult to understand. Okay. First 10 days only. After that, you can write a code. Because everyone learning the code, why not you learning, right? So same question we have to ask ourselves only. Okay. Now, if you observe here, by default, the project is structured like this. Okay. So they given a one class. This is the class name. Default, they have a given the class name. Then what is the use of this class? What is this main method? What is this project? So I'm giving my project name console app 9am. This is my project name. After that, I have a file. This file name program.cs. So this file I have opened like this. And then we have a one more file app.config. So forgot this app.config file. We are not going to using this as of now. Okay, leave it this file name. And coming to this program.cs file. Whenever we are running the application, okay. So in console project, first starting point, this main method. For example, I have a house. I want to enter into my house. So before enter, we have a main gate, right? That means that is a starting point to enter into our house. Like this, same here also, whenever we are writing the any program, to run that program, this is the entry point in a console project. Okay. Now I'm writing here console dot write line hello world. Hello. This is my first programming line. Okay. Now how to start this project? So if you observe here, we have a start button. So if you click on this start button, then our project will load. Now see this debug point hit it the first time. This is a entry point main method. Now click on continue. Okay, so we have to write one more line console dot read line. So don't worry about on this what is console dot write line, what is console dot read line. I will explain you everything line by line. Then you can understand very easily. Now click on start button. Okay, then click on continue. So if you see here, this is our output. Output is displaying in a hello world. Okay, like this. So in console application, okay. So in real time, it is we use very less, but to learn the C sharp programming, this console project is very easy to learn the console application. Okay. So what is this console.writeLine in our project? Console.writeLine is used to print the text. Okay. So I have written some text in this bracket console.writeLine. That text is printed in this output window. Okay. So guys, Harish or anyone, I will forward you recording videos. Okay. To your mail. Don't worry. So I'm just denying it to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Your email, I will send this recorded video.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So whatever you are writing, console.writeLine, that is used to print the text. That is the use of a console.writeLine. So this is a way to write a console programming. Okay. What is the use of this console.readline? So these all are free defined methods. This console.readline is used to read this text and it will display here in this output window. So in that purpose, we have to use the console.readline method. Okay. So this is a console project we have created. Now by default, they have given a program data CS file. So where this program.cs file, this is a program.cs file. So in a C sharp, any class file, the file extension is a .cs. Okay, program.cs. This is the file extension. Okay, so can I create my own file like this program.cs? Yes, we can create our own file. We can create our own code in that file and we can access those whatever we have written your code into this main method. So everything we can learn in a coming session. So as of a first day, we have to know the how to create a project, how to run this console project, and how to print the text in this window. Now I'm stopping the debug. This is a stopping the debug. If you want to start the application, you have to click on this start button. Then automatically project will start. Okay, so now project is started. If you want to stop this project, you have to click on this red icon. Now see, intelligent is showing stop the debug. If I click on red icon, now application is stopped. Okay, so in C sharp, so why should I use this programming? I explained you yesterday. So the use of C sharp programming, it is the most popular, powerful language in the world. So every organization using the C sharp. That is why we have to learn the C sharp programming. Okay, then what is the use of this programming? First of all, that is we have to understand. So before software, okay, 20 years back. So in our school, they will write our name, means student names. If you go to the bank, so they will take the our bank customer names, address, okay, everything they have written in a book, right? So for example, unfortunately, there is a heavy rain, okay. So due to that heavy rain, whatever records you have saved, I mean the student information for school, in bank, customer information, everything we are storing in a notebook. So due to rain, those notebooks are gone. Then how to record that books? So who knows those customers of the bank employees? So who knows the students of the schools? So every information, everything we lost. We cannot recover it back because we are stored in a physical path like books. Okay. Then coming to this software, okay, it is not a physical. So this data we are not storing a physical. It is storing in a server. Okay. So servers is nothing but it is as a physical device, but it is a software. Okay. For example, now same student information or bank employee information, I stored my data in a server. So if there is a rain, okay, Okay, my system is spoiled due to rain. Okay, but I can recover my data from other mission due to server. So I'm able to get my data again in another mission with the help of a server. So we can save data permanently in our application in a server. And then we can access this data anywhere. For example, I'm staying in Hyderabad. So I'm able to get my data in, I just open and I can log in into my project URL and I can retrieve data. And if I shift from Hyderabad to Bangalore, in Bangalore also I can open my system and I can type the URL and I can see the data, what is the data present in my application. So same we cannot do in a physical, like if you store the data in a notebook, we cannot do like that, right? So we have to go to the school, we have to go to the bank, and then only you can verify the data in a physical path. But here it is not required. I can sit anywhere in the world, I can access my data. That is the use of a programming language. So how those applications are developed? So with the help of this C# programming, we can develop those kind of applications. Those applications we can call web applications. So in coming session, after completion of the C# and the SQL server, we'll create a web application. How to create a web application? For example, I have this is a one application and I want to open a Facebook. So if I click Facebook, now see, so before access any Facebook, they are asking the sign up, register. We have to register the Facebook, and then we can access. We can log in into the Facebook. So everyone having Facebook account, right? So this is a one web application. So in this web application, they're giving the one beautiful UI. This UI is called. They have developed with the help of Bootstrap. These controllers are all Bootstrap controllers. So same this kind of UI, okay, real time how these people are using, we can develop same this kind of UI, okay. Same Bootstrap we'll use in our application, same designer we'll use in a coming session. So this is called a web application. So with the help of this web application, I have to enter my first name, last name, email, password. Okay, so every information I have to enter and then I click on a sign up. When I click on this button, I'm able to store these data into my database. After that, I have an account already. So I can just enter the email and password if I click on login, and then I'm logging into the my Facebook account. Okay, same this kind of application we can develop in our project in a coming session. Okay. Okay, so to write this code, we require a C# programming. Now, if you observe here, they're asking the email, they're asking the password. Okay, and if you observe here in this field, they are giving the integer fields, text fields. So this is a text field, this is an integer field, like this field. So how these data storing in a database? So to store any data in our application, okay, it is required some format. So in C# we have a data types. So different data types available in a C#. What is the different data types? What is the use of those data types? So data types is nothing but to store data in a specific format. I have a data types called string, integer, okay, char, boolean, decimal, float, double, long, small int, datetime. Okay. So these are the data types available in a C#. So what is the use of these data types? So these data types are used to store the specific data. For example, I want to store my name. or my email or my address. So those text here we can store in the type of string. So how to store? So I have to create a one property. The type is a string. String name equal to, I want to store my name in this property. My name is Shiva. So this Shiva is stored in this property. When I click on this submit button, when I click on this button, they will store the first name, or email, or password, all this like this properties. After that, these data they will send into the database. Again, that data is stored in a database, and same data they will get back to the UI. So we will see coming session. Okay, first before that we require to store the data, right? To store the data, we have required properties. Now, how to declare a property? So this is a data type. The data type name is a string, and the property name is a name, and then assigning some value to this name. This is a string type. Now I want to store integer value like my age or my employee ID. So whenever you want to store integer value, it is required integer data type. Int number. I have a number property. I'm giving the number of 100. So whenever you want to store any integer value, you have to use the number data type. I want to store a single character. So I don't want to store multiple characters. In that scenario, we have to use the type of char. Okay, char, my char equal to. So I want to store one single character. So to store single character, we have to use the single quote, not a double quote. Okay. So this char is used to store the only single character. So it is a requirement. If you want to store a single character, we have to use the data type char. Now I have a type of Boolean. Boolean means it is a true or false. For example, every organization, the employees, new employees are joining, and the existing employees are leaving the organization, right? So the employee is existed or not, we have to identify the is active. Is active is nothing but a true or false Boolean. Okay. So bool my Boolean equal to, you can store the true or false. So this is a true means it is active, false means inactive. That is the meaning of a real time. Don't worry about all this. Okay. So in coming sessions, you can learn everything very easily. First day, little bit some confusion. Okay. Now I want to store the Boolean. So this is a way we can store the true or a false. And this is the way to store the single character. Now I have another decimal called type decimal. Decimal, my decimal equal to. So I want to store the value like this. Okay. So decimal, we have to use the type. So whenever you are using the decimal values, we have to use the suffix m. So that m is a small or a capital. So you can give any character. So for storing this string, number, char, boolean, it is not required any suffix, but decimal requires the suffix as a m. Then the m indicates it is a decimal number. Now I have another called float. Float my float value equal to float equal to, so I'm using the 10.4. So float f. So whenever we are using the float, we have to use a suffix f. And I have a double data type of double. My double equal to, so you want to store the double value, double t. Okay, so these three data types, we have to use the suffix. Rest of the values, it is not required to any suffix. And then I have a type of long. So whenever you want to store the integer value, but the value is long, okay, big length. So in that scenario, we have to use the long. So by using the integer, by using the long, both are used to store the number only. But the difference is whenever you want to store the small amount of small number, that time you have to use the number. Whenever you want to store the very big number, that time you have to use the long. So we have a small int also. Okay. So this small int we will use in SQL Server. In as of now, leave it. Now I have a one more type called date time. Date time is used to store the employee joining date or employee date of birth. Okay, date format. So whenever you want to store a date format, that scenario we have to use the date time. Okay, data type. Use the data, date time, date. Okay. So I want to add date time start now. Okay, so like this, I can store my data into these properties or these are variables. So to store any value, okay, to store any value, it is a required data type. First, require the data type, and then a data type of property, and then we are going to assigning the value to this property. Okay, I know how to create a properties. I know how to use the these are data types, and I know how to assign value to this property. How to print these values? How to print these values? Now, if you observe here, I have a written console dot write line. Hello. This console dot write line is used to print the value, right? So now I want to access these properties and I want to print these values. Can I print these values? Yes, absolutely. You can print. So to access these values, if you observe here, we have a class program. These are properties present inside this class. Now what I want to access, okay, these properties. So how to access these properties? We have to create an object to this program class and then we can access. Now how to create an object? Come here and just creating the object to the program class. Program obj or obj equal to new program. So this program is a class name and I'm creating the object to this class. With the help of this object, I can access these properties. So I want to print those values. Console dot write line. In this console dot write line, I want to print a name. Okay. So here, what I'm doing. So I will explain you what is this everything. Okay. Name equal to obj dot name and then console dot write line I want to print what is this number? Number equals to obj dot number. Now see when I click on obj, okay, obj dot all what are the properties which is in this class, everything is displaying here. Okay, this is the intelligence they will give the. So I want to print the so number and console dot right line dollar. I want to print a char value. My char equal to obj dot my char and then console dot right line dollar next boolean. So my boolean equal to obj dot my boolean console dot right line and we have a decimal. My decimal equal to how to write a decimal object data decimal my decimal value and then console dot right line dollar. So what we have a float my float equal to float value. So obj dot my float and we have a double and a long. So console dot right line. So these all values are just for displaying only. I'm writing. Okay, don't worry about on this. What is the user writing? What is the user vision? So everything we can learn from coming session. So as of now, I'm just giving small demo. Don't worry about on this why I'm writing like this. So you can understand by this by coming session. Okay, don't worry. And we have to print a double. Obj dot my double console dot right line dollar my long equal to obj dot my long and then finally we have a daytime console dot right line. So these all are different data types to store the different format, different data. Okay. So data time equal to obj dot my data. Save this one. So how to print this value? To print any value, we have to write in a console data right line. Okay, then what is this dollar? This dollar is a latest syntax. Okay, I will explain you how it will work. And we can print same this value in another way. For example, I will print this one. I will show you the different ways we can print these values. Click on continue. Now see whatever data we have entered in properties, those values I'm able to print in my output window. So if you want to store any value, so if you want to store any value before going to the database, those values we have to store in our properties. Okay. So those properties require a specific data type to store values. So in this format, if you observe here, so they are asking the integer data birth. This is an integer value. Then to store this value, we require integer type. This is a string. So it is a required string data type. If they given any date format or date controller, so we have to use the date time format. So the behind the code, they will use the same this one on this code they will use, and this data they will store into database. So these are the data types available in a C sharp. So these data types are used to store the specific data into their respective properties. So how to create any property or any value here? This is the syntax to create a data type and then a variable name and then a value. So like that, I have to declare and assign a value to this variable. We can call it variable. We can call a property. Both are same. Don't worry about it. Don't confuse on the names. Okay. And if you want to access these values, we have to use the class. Inside the class, we have written. So how to access these values, these properties? To access any class properties, any class, okay, we have to create object to that class. Now, this is a syntax to create a object, and then object dot. What are the properties? Okay, available in this class? All it will display. These are the properties available here. Now, if you observe here, all these are showing in a black color, but this one is showing the light color. Why? So I just declared this property, but I did not use it any another place. Okay, so that is why it is displaying the light color, and the rest of the properties are displaying black. Okay, so in real time also easily we can identify. Okay, he is just declared, but it is not used in another place. That is the meaning of this property. Okay, now how to print these values, right? This is the syntax to print these values. I can print without this dollar also. So another way to print this one, just write a console data right line. In this bracket, just write the obj data name. So save, stop the debug, and then start application. Click on continue. Now see Shiva is printed, and here Shiva name equal to Shiva. It is printed like this. So I want to print the same like this. Yes, we can print the same like this with the help of one the syntax. So this console main use of console dot write to print the value, nothing else. Okay, don't worry about that. And we have to write a console data write line. Okay, so I want to add some value. Name equal to, I'm giving the position 0, and then this one. So this is syntax. This is syntax. The syntax is different, but the working functionality both are same. First one, this name equal to bracket 0. This is a old syntax, and they have introduced the syntax called string interpolation. This is a new syntax. Okay, which one I have to use? So if you comfort using the first one, you can use. If you comfort using the second one, you can use the second one. Okay, so any syntax you can use, both are useful to print the value only. Now I'm running this application again. Click on continue. Now see Shiva equal to 100. Sorry, I think I have given a number here instead of number. I have to give the name. Siva, and give us some space. Click on a start button. Click on a continue. Now see, so the expected output is the same. There is no difference to print the value. The difference is just a syntax only. So if you familiar to write a code, first one you can write in the first syntax. If you are good right way to write this syntax, you can write this syntax. So this is the latestly introduced syntax. Okay. What is the use of this zero? Can I give 1, 2, 3, 4 like that? Yes. So for example, I want to print a employee number, employee name. In this scenario, I'm giving the name and employee number. Employee number equal to I'm giving the 1. What is the 0? What is the 1? I explain. And then here I have to use the obj data number and removing this. So what is the meaning of this 0, 1? So these values are used to identify the index position. So I'm using the 0, that means 0 index position name is displaying here. I'm using the 1. 1 means 1 position, it is displaying the number here. So based on this 0, 1 or 2, 3, it will print the respective value. Now run this application. Now click on continue. Now see, I'm able to print the employee name and the employee number 100. So whenever you want to print multiple values like this, we can use the 0 and 1. Same syntax can I use here also? Yes, if you want to use, yes, you can absolutely use. And employee number, emp number equal to, so I'm using the obj data number. Start the debug. Sometimes it will compile without stopping the debug and run this application. Gonna continue. Now see, I'm able to print both values of Shiva and employee number. So based on your interest, we can write a syntax first one or second one. And if you want to use this syntax, this is a syntax called string interpolation. Latest syntax. This is a old syntax. Okay. So in a C# to store the value, we require data types. The data types is called, these are the types of data types available in a C#. In coming session, we will learn the step by step everything. Okay. First 1 week, first 10 days, you will feel some difficult, but don't worry about on this. So after 10 days, you can write the code your own way. So that is the way I will teach you step by step. I don't teach every day. I mean a long session, and I don't make you confusion. Don't worry about on this. So we can learn everything step by step. But I'm telling you right, frankly, first 10 days only, you will feel it is a very difficult to understand. ఓకే. సరే. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగులో చెప్పానండి. సో మనకేంటి అంటే అసలు ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అయినా సరే ఎందుకు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ రాయాలి? దీనివల్ల యూజ్ ఏంటి అంటే మీకు ఫస్టే చెప్పాను. ఏదైనా డేటా మనం ఫిజికల్‌గా స్టోర్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి, అన్‌ఎక్స్‌పెక్టెడ్‌గా హౌస్ ఐ మీన్ కన్‌స్ట్రక్షన్ పాడైపోయిన తర్వాత హెవీ రెయిన్ వచ్చేసి మన ఇంట్లో ఉన్న ఫిజికల్ అన్నీ డ్యామేజ్ అవుతాయి గదా! సో, ఆ డేటా మొత్తం ఫిజికల్‌గా స్పాయిల్ అయిపోతే వాటిని మళ్ళీ మనం గెట్ బ్యాక్ చేసుకోలేము. కానీ ఇదే డేటాని మనం ఒక సర్వర్‌లో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటే ఇది ఎక్కడికైనా యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. సో, ఈ డేటా అనేది స్పాయిల్ అవ్వదనమాట. అది మెయిన్ యూజ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్. సో, ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని మనం డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ ఓకే. మనం డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ డెవలప్ చేయొచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు మనం రాస్తున్న ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఏంటంటే కన్సోల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్. సో, ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలి? ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్‌లో కోడ్ ఎలా రాయాలనేది ఇది సి షార్ప్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అన్నమాట. అయితే ఇది మొత్తం నేను ఎట్లా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలండి? మీరంటే ఎక్స్‌పీరియన్స్ కాబట్టి మీకు గుర్తుంది రాస్తున్నారు. మరి నేనెలా రాయాలి అంటే, సో, ఇదంతా బై ప్రాక్టీస్ మీద మనకు వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం చిన్నప్పుడు ఏబీసీడీలు నేర్చుకునేటప్పుడు ఒక లెటర్‌ని 100 టైమ్స్ రాపిస్తారు. ఎందుకంటే అది మన మైండ్‌లో ఫిక్స్ అయిపోవడానికి. రైట్. ఒకసారి రాయగానే మనకేం గుర్తుండదు కదా! సేమ్ అలాగే ప్రోగ్రామ్ కూడా చేసిన పనిని ఒక 4 టైమ్స్, 5 టైమ్స్, 10 టైమ్స్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే ఆటోమేటిక్‌గా మనకు గుర్తుండిపోతుంది. సో, కమింగ్ బై ఎక్స్‌పీరియన్స్ ద్వారా మనం కూడా కోడింగ్‌లో ఎక్స్‌పర్ట్ అయిపోతాం. అంతేగాని డే 1నే నాకు రావాలి. డే 1 నేను తేడానికి చాలా కష్టంగా ఉంది అంటే అది పొరపాటు. అట్లా ఏం కాదు. సో, బై ఎక్స్‌పీరియన్స్ ద్వారా, బై ప్రాక్టీస్ ద్వారా మనకు కోడింగ్ నేర్చుకుంటాము. అంతకుమించి ఏం లేదు. సో, మనకు కోడింగ్ రాక కాదు, వేరే వాళ్ళు మంచిగా చదవటం వల్ల కాదు. సో, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువగా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేశారు. వాళ్ళు నేర్చుకున్నారు. మనం ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయకపోతే మనం నేర్చుకోలేం. అంతకుమించి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏమీ లేదనమాట. అదే. ఓకేనా? సో, ఈ రోజుకి సరిపోతుంది. ఎక్కువ చెప్తే మీకు ఫస్ట్ డేనే చాలా లాంగ్ ఉన్నట్టు అనిపిస్తదనమాట. ఐయామ్ జస్ట్ స్టాపింగ్ ద రికార్డ్. మీకు మీరు